So I work for the WEA, and I work in the East Midlands region, and I hope actually that I am one of those uppity women in the WEA that Anne referred to earlier. And part of being an uppity woman in the WEA is, for myself, is banging on about women's education a lot, really. From my own experience, I'm hugely passionate about women's learning and women's education, and I've been involved in it probably since I was 18, really. As a learner, as a teacher, as an organiser, as a manager, and unfortunately nowadays I'm kind of at the stage where I'm quite far away from what actually goes on on the ground. And so coming to events like the event today and the event we had at the end of Women's Leading Learning kind of feed my soul, really, and they inspire me to keep going and doing the job that I do, because I know that actually what I'm doing, sitting in front of a computer, writing reports, being in meetings, means that things like this can happen, and that women's lives can be changed. So I just want to say a couple of things really that are quite practical and probably a bit boring, but just to reassure you really about the region's support for women's learning, and in particular for this group. So you are following in a long, proud history of women's learning in the East Midlands. Anne alluded to the history of women within the WEA in general, but in the East Midlands we have been pioneers and have forged the way for many, 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 many years. And we have had women's branches in existence before. The last one unfortunately folded about 10 years ago, so it's fantastic that we're showing and proving to the WEA and to the external world that there actually is still a need and a space for women branches and for groups of women to come together to really have an influence on the organisation itself. So it's really important in the East Midlands and wider in the WEA in general that we offer women's education which is relevant, which is real, and which is responsive to what you want. It's not about my opinions and my views as a teacher and a manager. It's about what you as women want to learn about, how you want to learn about it, and my job, and Angela's job, is to make sure that we can create those spaces and those opportunities for you. So it's really important that your voices are heard. And moving on from that, it's hugely important that your voices are heard in the governance of the WEA, because ultimately that's where the big decisions are made about how the WEA works. And so starting from where we are today, one of my real hopes for this group is that you will be inspired to be involved at different levels within the WEA. And so your voices can be heard, and you can really make a difference to the organisation itself. And that's one of the really wonderful things about the WEA that really isn't in existence anywhere else in adult learning, that our learners have the voice and feed into the way that the organisation should work and how we should support you. So I want to reassure you that that the East Midlands is 125% behind you. And that's through providing resources, although they're not limitless, unfortunately, through providing a passionate and excellent organiser who is here to support you and to develop you and work with you. And I know she's, this is close to her heart, and she will do everything that she can to support you. Through excellent partners such as the Women's Centre, and I really want to say a massive thank you to Bright Ideas too, who I know many of you will know about, who were pivotal in the Women's Leading Learning project, the way that it was delivered, and the success that's come out of it. That's the reason why we're sort of sitting here today. What else? I've just noted down a few things. No, that's it. Really, there's a real challenge in the WEA about the Women's Leading Learning programme was an externally funded project, which meant that we were able to offer things in a very responsive way. Now that doesn't really happen in our our main grant. Unfortunately, that's decided by those men in suits, so there are certain boundaries in terms of what we can offer and how we can offer. And I know that sometimes is very frustrating for you as learners and potential volunteers on the ground. But we have to work within those spaces, and so it's really important to kind of work together to move through those things. And this is about us moving, and it's a real challenge actually. We have across the WEA, we have many inspiring externally funded projects that allow us to work with individuals and communities that actually nobody else is interested in. But the challenge to us as an organisation is how we bring that work into our core work and into our mainstream. And that takes a bit of effort, and it takes resources, and it takes time. And in the East Midlands, we are absolutely committed to doing that, and totally committed to doing that with Women Loves Learning. And just the last thing to finish on, because everyone's talking over, and I do tend to come on a bit about this kind of subject. For the first time this year, in November, so in about a month's time, the WEA, which is one of our new chief executives' great ideas, is having an excellence award ceremony in London, and it's being held in Westminster, and there's lots of very big, powerful, high-profile people who are going to be there to hand out awards that recognise excellence across the whole of the country within the WEA, and there's lots of different things. Can I just ask that all those people that are involved in Women Leading Learning, could you just stand up, please? Or put your hand up. Who is involved in Women Leading Learning? Well, I'm very pleased to announce today, and this is hot off the press, no one else knows this yet, that you have won the East Midlands Excellence Awards. Some of you, hopefully, representatives of the group, will be going to Westminster, to Parliament, to receive your award in November. And I hope that just proves to you how much we recognise and support your work, and recognise how much this has impacted on you, and similarly how you're going to impact on us as an organisation.